Hi everyone, this is Ryan from the Cardinal Health Fitness Center and welcome to ReAdjust and ReEnergize. Today we're going to be working on the forearms as well as the shoulders, the arms, the lats, the core, and we're going to be working on the hips towards the end of today's session. So I'm going to start my timer here. We're going to do about 2 sets of everything, so keep that in mind. What we want to work on first is the forearms. We're not going to have any weights like we did in the last session. We're just going to do body weight here, and we're going to focus on full range of motion at this time. So we're going to do 20 seconds with our hands in this position here, and then we'll flip them in just a few. So again, work on that range of motion, allow them to drop all the way, and then lift them up as high as you can. 3, 2, 1, flip those hands over, and let's work on that range of motion here. Now you might not get as much range of motion in this position. That's okay. Just do what you can. If you feel like you have any discomfort, I just want you to work on the range of motion where you can tolerate it. And relax. Shake out the arms. Next up, we're going to work on the shoulders and arms. The way we're going to do that is we're going to place the palms of our hands right at the bottom end of our table or our desk. So, with me, arms out in front, slight bend of the elbow, and press up towards the desk as if you're trying to flip the desk over. Now this is a little bit more challenging for me because this is pretty much planted to the floor, the desk. So I'm not going to be able to do much in this position, but I can give it as much resistance as possible. That way I'm working, again, my shoulders and my arms, just like I would with a front raise with dumbbells. Nearly done here, about 8 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Dropping the arms. So we're going to reverse that now. We're going to have the palms of our hands on top of the desk, and this time we're going to try and press down. So I'm going to come in a little bit closer here. And let's begin. So pressing down as hard as you can. Now what we're doing is we're working on the lats during this time. And we're also working the core quite a bit. Stabilizing ourselves while in this position, acting like we're trying to bring something down towards our hips. Pressing down as hard as you can. Be mindful of the elbow joints here. I like to have just a very slight bend in my elbows. I never try to lock my joints in place when I do any kind of resistance-based exercise. So just a slight bend of the elbow, core is tight, and relax. Relaxing those arms. Next up, we're going to be working our hips and our legs. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to clamp the desk with my hands, and I'm going to use that as support to help myself up and down back into my chair. Nice and slow here. Going back up. And what I'm doing with my feet, I know you can't see it, but what I'm doing with my feet is I'm allowing my toes to come off the floor and put all the weight on the balls of my feet and more so in my heels. For some, you may even want the balls of your feet off the floor so you can really practice weight on the heels. That's a much better position, especially for your knees when you're doing a squat-like motion, such as sitting down in a chair. Last one here, going down. And let's stand up one more time. Let's get ready for our final exercise. So we're going to be working the core quite a bit. What I want to do is place one thumb right in the middle of the chest, and then the other thumb is going to be right on the belly button. Little side view here, and I want to bring the top hand to the bottom hand and then lift it up. So what I'm doing here is I'm practicing a good proper crunch. I'm gaining control and understanding how my torso works and how my core works when it comes to bending or rounding the back and then extending. So the top hand should be doing the majority of the movement as you go down and up. We're going to contract the core like so, and then relax, opening up the core. Contract one more time, and relax. Shake out those arms, and let's have a seat, and let's go into set 2 for this session. So arms out in front again, and we're going to lift up the hands for full range of motion right now. Let's go. Up and down. Again, no weights needed for this exercise when working on range of motion. Just have a little squeeze here as you lift up, and then let it relax for just a second on the way down. Couple more. 3, 2, 1. Let's turn it over and squeeze. Now we're working these muscles here. Sometimes they can be a little weak, especially if you're at your computer typing all day. So this position right here can be really good for some. You'll notice with my range of motion, it's definitely gone down. I can't bring it all the way up, and that's okay. All right, shaking out the arms. So it's okay if your range of motion seems limited in that position. Just do what you can to strengthen this part of your body. All right, back to palms of the hands at the bottom of the desk. And let's apply pressure now. Again, you want to make sure that there's just a slight bend in the elbow. Keep that slight bend there as you attempt to or act like you're trying to lift your desk off the floor. Should be working your front part of your shoulders this way. And your biceps and your triceps are nice and tight during this time. That slight bend of the elbow will help to engage the biceps a little bit more. So keep that in mind if you want stronger biceps. Remember to breathe. And relax. All right, so we just worked the shoulders, and now we want to work the opposing muscle, the lats, right here. So palms of your hands on top of the table this time, and act like you're trying to press it downward. Slight bend of the elbow still, and pressing down. So I know it doesn't look like much, but we are acting as if we're trying to do a straight arm pull down. But in this position, we're engaging the muscles in the lats, the arms, and even more so in the core. The core is working quite a bit to help stabilize us during this time. So this is a great way to work your core when you're stuck at your desk all day. Nearly done here. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Next up, we're going to clamp our hands again right onto the desk, and we're going to work on those sit-in stands. Really focus on squeezing the glutes as you stand up, all right? Get ready. 3, 2, 1, and let's stand up. Squeezing the glutes on the way up. Remember, lean into your heels, especially on the way down. Now keep in mind, I do have my hands clamped on the desk here. It's making it a lot easier for me to rise up in a proper position for my hips and my elbows. However, if you want to practice without using your hands, you can do so. I would recommend you have your arms out like this, just to help with that balance, while still putting all the pressure into your heels and the balls of your feet if they're still on the floor. Nearly done here. 3, 2, 1 more stand, and up. Okay, I'm going to move this chair to the side because we're not going to need it anymore after this. We're on to our final exercise here. So, thumb right on the chest, other thumb on the belly button. Doesn't matter which hand. We do want the top hand to go down towards the bottom hand to contract, and then lift up to relax the core. So, one of the exercises before was to focus on contracting the abdomen, whereas this right here will help us to work on range of motion for the core. So this is exactly what the core is meant to do. It's to help us round our back a little bit as we contract the core. And then when that relaxes, we help our back to extend just like that. So focus on that contraction still here. And then one more release, lifting that hand up as high as you can. And relax the arms. All right, that is it for today, everyone. Thank you all for joining me. Let me know what you think about that, and I will see you for our next session next Monday. Take care, everyone.